Hey, it's me, Leanne, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. So, before we get started today, I just need to take a second to apologize to Miss Erica and Miss Stephanie over at Leahy. I took a little bye on Wellness Wednesday last week, and apparently it threw a monkey wrench into their whole day. So, sorry, ladies, but we're back on track today. And we have been going through Beach Bodies Are Made in the Winter and my 8 tips for getting fit. And we've gone through water, and we've gone through planning and making space. We've gone through portion control. And today we're going to kind of go over some food stuff, which can be a little bit dry, but it's just my take. And a lot of this information is already out there on the internet, so I'm just going to try to give it to you down and dirty. It's funny because I have a couple of vegan friends who we were talking about the protein piece of it, and they're like, you don't really need to go out of your way to get protein in your diet. And I'm like, what do you mean? So I did some research on it, and it looks like you probably need about 0.8 grams of protein per pound. So for me, that's like I only need 47 grams of protein a day, and if I converted that into ounces, it was like less than 2 ounces of protein, like in chicken or beef or whatever. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I thought I would just throw it out there before we start. And we're going to start with protein. So, and for me, I always believe that protein should be eaten with every meal. And this is mainly because it helps to slow the absorption of other different nutrients that you're eating. And if we cut calories, while we're dieting, we actually, I believe, do need to increase our protein. I have read that it's good to have about a third of your calories come from protein when you're dieting. And my little vegan girlfriend mentioned that it's also good to add a lot of good fats in there, like avocados and stuff, because that helps with the brain fog that you might get from dieting. So I thought that was all very interesting. And if we don't eat enough protein when we're dieting, it will take it from the muscle versus the fat, which is what we don't want. We don't want to lose any muscle when we're dieting. We want to keep our muscle mass where it is, and we want to drop body fat. So some good proteins, right? So we have, lean meats, which could be, lean beef, poultry, which could be chicken or turkey, fish, dairy products, probably lower skim would be great, eggs, nuts, and seeds, all good stuff. Carbs, and all carbs are not evil. They're not all bad for you. We actually need carbs. The ones that we should probably stay away from are simple carbs, which absorb quickly into our bloodstream and spike our sugar, and then thereby spiking your appetite, right? So that would be like things that are white rice, bread, flours, and that type of things. And the ones that we do want, and I mentioned this I think last week, are complex carbs, and those take longer to absorb into your bloodstream, stabilizing your sugar and kind of keeping your appetite in check. And those would be things like sweet potatoes, quinoa, brown rice, whole grains, and breads. Fibrous foods, great. So fiber actually helps you to stay fuller longer on less calories, which is great when you're trying to lose weight. So some things might be kidney beans, brown rice, raw or dried vegetables, oats, oatmeal, non-starchy vegetables, steamed or raw. You can eat as much of those as you want, which is great. And also we talked a little bit a minute ago about fats. So fats are good for our brain and our nerve activity. So we want to keep our healthy fats in check, which would be and I guess there's 3 different kinds of fats. So there's saturated fats, and those are the type of fats that are from animals, so meat or whatnot, and those solidify at room temperature, right? And those are the bad ones. Those are the ones that kind of increase our bad cholesterol. And then there is unsaturated fat, and there's 2 categories within that. And so there's monounsaturated, which is olive oils, nuts, peanut, canola, avocado. And studies have showed that these type of fats can help to lower bad cholesterol. And then there's also on the other side of that polyunsaturated, which is like sesame, corn, soy, all that stuff, which is also good and can lower bad cholesterol, but too much of it can also decrease the good cholesterol, which we don't want. And trans fat's the worst. And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of things that are on the shelf have trans fats in them. And trans fats are help to maintain the shelf life of certain products like donuts, chips, imitation cheese, and cookies. And basically, what trans fat are is they take unsaturated fat made from vegetable oil and they turn it into saturated fat in a lab. So it's a man-made fat to prolong shelf life of some of our foods. So if you see trans fats, or just know that certain types of foods on the shelf have these types of fats in them. And lastly, I'm just going to talk quickly about alcohol. And although alcohol is not a food, it can inhibit weight loss. And the reason is this: our body sees alcohol as a toxin. So what's going to happen is the liver is going to process those calories first and take any other calories that we consume, healthy or not healthy, and they're going to see them as excess and they're going to store them as fat for later. All interesting stuff, right? So that's just the down and dirty on food. I actually have some more detail on that on my webpage, and I can post it below if you want to read a little bit more about that. Or like I said, there's a ton of information out on the internet on what's healthy, what's not healthy. But like I said, this is just a quick lowdown. It was good for my head to know this stuff. And yeah, so that's all I have. And thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this Wellness Wednesday. Steph and Erica, hope you enjoyed it. And y'all have a good night. Thanks. Bye.